Friday, December 15th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I want to look at the markets this morning, and I also want to look at EOS, one of the tokens I recommended in the video in the beginning of September. It wasn't a sponsored video, I just liked the idea and the people behind it. And I also talk about quantum computing, which is something quite interesting. Before that, though, let's have a look at what the markets are doing. Spot gold is 1257.50. Overnight range has been 1251 to around 1259. That's spot gold. Silver has rallied a little bit, is doing a little better than yesterday. It's trading around 1598, up 9 cents. The range has been 1588 to 1602. And I have to say, I wasn't surprised by the drop in silver yesterday during the day, because early on in London, and I've been watching these markets, precious metals, since 2002, especially when I was had a desk in the dealing room in the city. It was all the time. And I noticed yesterday morning that while silver was quite firm, gold was quite firm, silver couldn't manage to go into the, it was always in the red, down 2 or 3 cents. And I thought to myself, this is, we're going to see a smackdown of silver when the U.S. comes in, and lo and behold, that's what happened. That's how they manipulate. That's how they keep the precious metals, so suppressed. They've got these strategies that, if you know about markets and if you watched and followed it, you can see it. So anyway, the Dow futures, surprisingly, up 62 points, or 0.25% at 24,580. The S&P is up 5 points at 2656. Nasdaq futures, Nasdaq 100 futures, 6404. It's up 0.25% or up 14 points. Currency-wise, the pound is down a little bit today, 22 pips at 134.09. Euro's a little stronger, 118.02, up 25 pips, sorry. And the dollar is down 0.25% against the yen at 112.13. So dollar generally weaker against the euro and the yen, but a little stronger against the pound. Crude oil up 40 cents at 57.40. That's the WTI front month contract. So EOS. So I made a video on September 7th about EOS. So EOS is it's basically going to be like Steemit, but for all kinds of applications. It's going to be a platform for software developers, programmers to develop their applications, and it's going to use the same, well, I'm not sure exactly, but it's basically going to be like what Steemit is for social media. And the guy behind it is Dan Larimer, the founder of Steemit. And I thought it was an interesting, ICO. And now there's talks as well that it's going to challenge Ethereum. So when I made the video, we were trading, I think September 7th. It was trading below $1, this token. And I did buy some, probably not as much as I should, but pretty good amount. And right now, it's trading at 745. It's really, really shot up. It's been as high, I think, as 850 or 860 yesterday. Am I telling people they should buy it? No, this is for every, each individual has to do their own homework. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at. I think, it has kind of moved up very quickly, so we probably will see some kind of correction, but I think it's an interesting token. or crypto altcoin to look at. It's EOS, EOS. Right now it's at 745. It's down 11% on the day. So it is volatile. And I think Dan Larimer, he's done a good job with Steam it, and he should be doing a good job with EOS. And I think the ICO is ongoing until next June, I think. So right now, you know, the market cap of this token is already $7.5 billion. So just wanted to talk about that one. The other thing I wanted to say about ICOs, if you have never bought a cryptocurrency, I would be cautious, because not only, you know, the price of the ICO token might go up, but you need to know how to use all the how to buy Ether, how to buy Bitcoin, how to use the different exchanges. I don't recommend. You need to do a lot of homework. This is for people who have been involved already, in my opinion. And if you want to get involved, you need to do your homework. The other thing I wanted to say is be careful, because you know, the fact that Bitcoin and even Ether is going up so quickly, when you do buy these tokens, you're actually selling Ether and or sometimes even Bitcoin to you donate Ether and Bitcoin to get these tokens. And if the ICO, you know, if the project use the Ether and the Bitcoin to fund their project, they're going to sell those tokens that you sold to them or donated to them in exchange for the tokens. And if the price of these cryptocurrencies keep going up, you have to understand that when the token comes out and you start trading it, you might not get as much in dollars as you think, and you will lose out. Only because the funding currencies are going up so quickly. So we need to think of that as well. The other point I wanted to talk about is quantum computers. There's been, you know, there is a question whether quantum computers will eventually be able to be a threat to Bitcoin and the blockchain. I think quantum computers are maybe decades away from being, how can I say, day-to-day use, and it's quite complex. But I saw an article here in Forbes magazine from August this year, and it says why quantum computing's threat to Bitcoin and blockchain is a long way off. So, and there's I recommend you read this. I'll put a link below in the description. And there's some quotes here that I wanted to show you, because the person who wrote the article was at a conference, and this is what, and they asked a question to one of the cryptographer at the conference, cryptography conference, blockchain conference, and it says one cryptographer who wanted to remain nameless thought breaking a digital signature would require government level spending, adding that the first breakage would likely be a stunt pulled off on a $50 million machine. So, and then what else? Yeah, so, you know, some people are saying these computers are going to take a decade to be up and running. They're very unstable. They're huge. You won't be able to have one at home. It will just be the big companies, big institutions that will probably have access to it. So, and the other point they make is that by the time these quantum computers are up and running, the developers, you know, and the programmers, the people who are involved in blockchain and cryptocurrencies, they will have, you know, evolved the system and made it proof, quantum computer proof. Basically, quantum computer is like I spoke to someone and they compared it, you know, quantum computers like has the power of an elephant, and the normal classical computer is like a little ant. So it's very, very powerful. And the other point I wanted to make about quantum computers, because I've been trying to look to see, is, and I've done quantum computers, Googled it, news, and I've seen that recently in the last few days, for example, an article from Forbes, JP Morgan Chase and Samsung are partnering with IBM to build quantum computer. The other one says IBM adds JP Morgan Chase, Barclays Bank to quantum project. So there are these big banks getting involved in this. JP Morgan, you might as well say the Federal Reserve, and Barclays, you might as well say the Bank of England. Am I saying that we have to be careful with this? Not now. I think, and maybe not even later. And I just wanted to put it through to people, you know, this, because I think it's reasonable to ask the question. Anyway, so in terms of later on today in the markets, I don't think there's too many important data. We have at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time, industrial production and capacity utilization and manufacturing production. Those numbers used to be more important years ago. They're not that important anymore. Maybe capacity utilization, if it comes lower than expected, you know, that doesn't really seem to matter anymore. The stock market will go up no matter what. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and you can also follow me on steemit.com and on Twitter. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.